Hey everyone. Hi Aries. Okay, so, oh awesome. Ace of Wands. So you, Pisces and Aquarius, excuse me. All received sitting on the couch, being comfortable, right? Ace of Cups, beautiful. And we have Judgment. Okay, wow. I sense that for a lot of you, Pisces has a message. Now, actually, before we finish shuffling for a second, I wanted to mention, welcome to the channel. Secondly, happy Aquarius season. It's a great time to be able to think about things in a different kind of way to resolve or liberate us from something that's been stressing us out. Now, actually, I have recorded your reading prior to this. But now it's after the eclipse. Okay? So I guess we needed to wait. We needed to see, like, let that energy like be cast aside so that this new kind of energy can come in, which I like so much. This is very inspired. This is very loving. This is very it's big energy. Okay, before I began this reading also I heard what was it? Hold on. No, I can't remember. Six of Swords. Prior to that, just so you know, you also received the Tower, but I wanted to wait and see what information this was giving. And I like that because this is the thing, the other readings that I have done for you ever since God-given gift, which was in December. January's readings were kind of, even when I tried to do all the mid-month readings, Five of Swords, there was a lot of, yeah, I guess like activity in the brain that was kind of stressing you out. You know, like maybe things in your life that were stressing you out. You know, maybe you weren't feeling Aries, Mars is in Aries right now, right? For everyone. Empress on the bottom. You know, it takes a lot of energy. Mars is a lot of energy. And right now, a lot of people are using your energy, Mars energy, in their lives. And so what that can do to you is actually feel like you're drained, right? Like you don't have the energy that you need to be able to do it. Like, or you don't have a creative way to go about something. But I actually see that now, since some time has passed, you're starting to look at it in a more appropriate way. You have a good idea. That's what I see this Tower as, is a really good idea. Even though the Ace of Swords isn't here, I see it. Four of Pentacles and the Three of Swords. See, we have Four of Cups on the bottom. So, Aries. Oh, that's what it was when I before I began. It was like, you're almost done with something. But whatever it is that you're finishing, you know that as soon as it's finished, there's something new that you have to do. Right? It's not like where you just finish something and then, oh, no more of anything, right? Of course, there's something that you're going towards. I see that it's very important for you to ease your mind. And I think that's what happened is, what did we say in that last reading? Worst case scenario, right? You were the prisoner, you were the soldier, you were, all this kind of energy was coming up. But you weren't feeling like the warrior, and like wonderful, my homegirl Neola commented, like warrior, you know, and the thing is all cardinal signs do this. We go 2 steps forward and 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, right? So it's important to remember that ebb and flow of how your natural energy works, right? Like you as Aries, I would say that you have a lot of oomph going forward, twice as much as most other people, right? You can go twice as long and do twice as much, but then you hit like a wall, and then energetically at very least, and then you have to, and usually the physical world stops you somehow, some way. It's like, slow down, Aries, take care of yourself, right? And then you have to you get pushed one step back. So it's not like you're actually losing anything. You're just not going at the speed that you want to be going at all points in time. But the thing is that's illogical. And your opposite, Libra, is there to teach you more about caring for yourself appropriately and giving to others, right? Balancing out your work and your personal life. Not letting your personal life affect your work, not letting your work life affect your personal life so much, right? I could sense with the cards here that some of you may be like, I wouldn't say necessarily concerned. I think you have it in order. You have something in order, but there's still something where you feel like, well, for a lot of you, you're kind of going through a spiritual challenge in when it has to do with money, because, and I hope you're following, the sign of Aries, which affects all Aries from what I can understand, right, or understand, is that Aries is in the 10th house, right, Saturn. So your world, your financial world, your world in ways of your career and however your face was to the world before is now different than what it was. And what's awesome about that is that that's happening, that change gets to come, that you get to go to a new place, you get to be defined in a different way, you know? And sometimes maybe you don't have all the things that you had before, right? Like friends or lovers or whatever, your relationship with your children or particular jobs or houses or cars or whatever, right? This 10th house, like physical things. It's like you may not have all of the things that you had before, but having less is more. And Pisces and Aquarius, again, you last three have spoken a lot about that. That message has come up, so that's good to remember. I want you to make sure that you also remember that you always have a trick up your sleeve, okay? You're a cardinal sign. You kind of have to. So even if you ever get what you think is stuck in a situation, you're never stuck. You can't get stuck because you're cardinal. You have to always go forward. But again, that's part of the situation is like, again, if we go 2 steps forward, right? And then we get kicked back 1. Well, we can view that as, oh shit, I didn't get where I wanted to be as fast as I wanted to get there, Aries. And then put my mind in a place that causes my heart to worry about things that I can't do anything about or control, right? No matter how hard I try. Or what you can do is see that little bit of kickback or that less than whatever it is that you maybe perhaps think that you need at this point. Well, that gives you a blessing to start something new. Because maybe, for instance, when you were doing those 2 steps and you were sort of moving along faster than whatever in this expediency, well, then perhaps you missed something. And it's almost like I just see a blessing of a redo in some sort of way. But this is something that happens throughout your life. This is what this reading is talking about. Is like, this isn't just now. This is something that happens that you just have to get used to understand that that's part of the way that your mental place works. How you mentally function. Okay? cool. Which obviously affects your energy. And this is the thing, you go from 1 to 1,000, right? Which is awesome. It shows me that you can. It shows me that you have the power to take anything that you have in your hand, which obviously there are many things being offered to you. At this point, like beautiful blessings are at your disposal. As long as you don't come from a place of fear, right? Because, and I sense it's not fear that you can't do it. It's fear that it doesn't come fast enough. Whether that would be getting your energy back, going from 0 to 100, or getting to that place, getting to that place, however you want to get there. I see that if you try to get there too fast, particularly in your mind and like how you think it's all going to play out, like crossing I don't know, it's like you're trying to go into the future, but that's part of the fear thing. Is like, and I just felt it in my heart too. Like you went way into the future. But you don't have to, you're safe and you're loved and you're protected. You don't have to worry about that so much. Okay. If you are that worried, then pray. Find that faith find that place. Right. And I like that faith and place kind of sounded the same to me right there. Find that place inside of you that brings you peace and brings you stability. Okay? That's what I see. This, where you're at mentally right now is bringing you. And so it's really important for you to know that, because I think you're also moving away from expectation in yourself to how everything is supposed to play out in the physical world. It just doesn't work like that. You can determine and decide how you want to behave in each moment, whether you want to say yes or no, whether you want to cry or laugh, right? Whether you want to speak or be silent, right? You do have that same God-given gift I was talking about. I see it here again. I really do. And I see even when you're upset, right? And say you're like, how do I want to, hold on a second. There's this whole other world over here that's also happening at the same time your world is happening. Okay? And I see that there are great blessings in that also. I also see that because you don't like to talk about when you're upset, when there's your worry, right? You don't like saying it. You're just like, oh, it's fine. It's fine. You do that. You and Capricorn do that a lot. No, out of the cardinal signs, you do it the most because you are tougher. The Cancer and Libra are a little softer than you two. It's just the other side of you, right? Like, but that's the thing is they have that has your back also. There's something important to remember about that. So I guess when we're talking about someone having your back, it's like, well, there are obviously people in your life that you trust, right? And so whoever that may be, and it's important to trust, whoever that may be, even if it's just 1 or 2 people that you really, really trust, well then feel good about that. Feel vulnerable about that. They're not going to judge you for crying. They're not going to judge you for even getting mad about something or showing your Aries like passion. People that love you are going to be like, there's my Aries, like just, you know, saying what they need to say. You know, you're mad at the fate of the world. Well, say it. You know, you're pissed that you're stressing about money. Well, fucking say you're stressing about money. Big deal. Well, if you say it out loud, then maybe you'll come up with a good idea through your venting somehow, some way, even if it's to yourself, that is a way to resolve something. Because again, remember, we're in Aquarius season. Uranus is a great liberator of issues. It does cause things to shift kind of fast. But whatever those changes are, always come for the greater good, right? So there's something also about being accepting to that and understanding, again, that like, I heard people don't want to hurt you. Okay? Like people again have your back. You don't ever have to pretend and hide your feelings. Okay? It doesn't make you any like weaker of a person to do that. If anything, it makes you really, really strong. Okay? It makes you brave. Look at that. Earth sign could be part of this, but this is also talking about, oh, and look at that. Wow, Aries. See, the thing is, well, I see this also as a family member that always watches over you. Okay? Particularly for all of you, I sense it as a male right now, but it also shows me where this is soul family, this is blood family, this is so positive and so happy, you know, perhaps because this is Taurus too, technically, but it can be any earth sign and it's general, so it's just a male energy anyway, but it's an energy of stability. It's an energy of a person that's really dedicated, right? That wants you to be happy, wants you to be, to feel safe and loved, and that you're always safe and loved and protected. You have to remember that. That you have it in this world now, and you also have it in the spirit world somehow, some way. And there's obviously someone who just like, there are people that just love you to death, Aries. They think that you're the bee's knees. Look at this. And obviously this is also the way that you're looking at yourself, you know. So what if you act like you want to act like a Knight of Wands one day and then a King of Wands another day? That's okay. I mean, as long as you're being responsible about things, right? I mean, with this, I would say save your money, right? You don't need, there's nothing, you know, maybe for some of you, you want to move in the future. Well, or you or at least have this in the burner where like maybe in the future you would want to go somewhere else. You'd have to make a different kind of, that's another story. We're not going to talk about it. You don't need to stress about that. But the point is that save your money. I really see you having a really amazing idea. Okay? I also see for a lot of you, this also to me, I see as another, not necessarily as you. And this could be, because I think a little bit of this stuck, whatever's still a little bit stuck in your heart, which happens, right? Join the club. We all get a button. But for a lot of you, it came from a male, and there is a fire sign here. Well, I guess it just emphasizes that whatever it is that you've had to go through in your life, particularly for a lot of you when you were like, well, it's general, whatever. You were younger, you know, maybe even in your teens, this person was a part of your life. But the thing is you're like whoever it is, the love that you had around, maybe again, like for some reason or another, you didn't have this stability and support and nurture that you needed in your creative endeavors when you were a kid, when you were younger. But now you do. You're being emotionally supported. You're being financially supported, right? And or you're obviously financially and emotionally providing for yourself, which gives you a great road to walk down where if you are concerned about, again, this Four of Pentacles was the only pentacle, which remember the King came out after that. Here's the Queen. Like there's so much groundedness in this situation if you're willing to be patient, you know. A water sign could be of help to this situation also. Or at the very least is connected to this situation. It depends on who you are. But either way, can't believe that the King of Pentacles with the 10 of Cups is just so, you know, it's not emotionally fantastical here. It's not, this isn't that 10 of Cups sometimes on its own can be fantastical. You know, like, oh, the white picket fence and the 2.3 kids and the 1.2 dogs or whatever. But no, with the King of Pentacles, it's like, this is so, that's a solid unit, you know. The pieces really fit together. The pieces really fit together. Wow. Look. These three just came out. I think your inner child wants you to be a little bit more grounded. Like, be more patient. Okay? Like, what it is that you're learning, what it is that you're healing, what it is that you're growing, what it is that you're desiring in this life, like, you're gonna get there. You're totally gonna get there. But to get to the Queen and King of Pentacles, it takes a little while. Right? You don't just get to be these people tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. You can kind of jump to the King of Wands if you want to. If you're willing to do whatever it is you need to do to get to that king. But the Pentacles, not so much, right? And the cool thing is about that is that makes it really, really, really stable, right? Maybe that's why this is here also. Is like if you go from 1 to 100, whether that's you meet somebody yesterday, you know, and then you're engaged, you know, next week, you better quit out. That's a psychopath, you know, not to be judgmental here, but that's unhealthy, right? You don't really know somebody then. So there's something about that. It can also be, again, like I mentioned, you just wanting to hurry things along, but that doesn't build a solid foundation. And that's why this card happens. So this is more of just a reminder of like, well, all it is that you've been through and all it is that you've come full circle here. In especially in ways of there's so many cards here about healing, you know, and that's really beautiful because I know that you've been through a lot and I know that you, no matter what you've been through, you keep a smile on your face. And that's really brave and it's really courageous, but you don't have to. Okay. Everybody's been through that. Everybody has a shadow. Everybody has those things with their mom. I'm having deja vu. You know, those experiences with their dad or, you know, when they were a kid or, you know, the first time you got a license, like everybody has memories attached to things, right? And then all depending on how we analyze them, well, that helps us to understand more of the true truth of the matter and cutting away the fat of the things that just don't serve us anymore. You know? You know, and you can teach an old dog new tricks. I had Zumi for 3 years before she played with a toy. And now she's stoked on life about it. You know, when I tell her to get the monkey, she is ecstatic. You know, I give her a bone now. She's like, woo! But she doesn't do it all the time. You know, it's like, I guess I'm telling this example because there's a certain, well, you can teach an old dog new tricks. So it shows that anything is possible, right? Even if the pattern has been the same for some reason, it doesn't mean that it has to, something has been the same for some reason. It doesn't mean that it has to stay that way. It's all up to you, right? You decide every day. Awesome. Yeah, you decide whether you want to go, whether you want to stay, whether you want to go 100 miles an hour in this chariot or 2 miles an hour. It's all up to you how fast you want to go. But remember, if you try to go too fast, then that's your shadow pushing you because you're subconsciously afraid that you're going to fail. But you won't. You'll just get kicked back one step because you wanted to go. Again, the fear, the ego was pushing you to get all these things done. Why do they need to get done right now? What's that saying? Where's the fire? Right? Like, again, if you go from 1 to 100, then you're blocking the natural, you're trying to block natural law by thinking that you can go from 1 to 100 and back again without actually rejuvenating yourself and caring for yourself, right? This is, I'll do it this way so I can see. This is Mother Earth, right? This is the Empress. You see here, she's pregnant. She's like, she's growing something, right? And you can't be like, hurry up, baby. You know, there is an absolute natural timing to the situation. And so maybe that's kind of what it is too, is like just, because what's in between this 3 and the 7? The friggin' Emperor. You know? Your inner child wants you to be a little bit more patient. Just relax. There, yeah. Just relax, mama. Okay? There you are. So cute. Say what it is that you wish for too. Right? And I know a lot of times we wish for things, like to have something, but sometimes it's really good to wish to let go of something. Right? Because it all depends where we're at. I keep hearing something about the 4th house, but that's another whole story. But either way, yeah, it is. There's something about your 4th house about Cancer, but that's probably the North Node. But either way, just going back to the tribe, right? Remember that to be in a tribe, everyone's going to be kind of at the same speed, right? So maybe when you're trying to go too fast, I guess, is maybe checking in and seeing like how other people are getting things done. You know what I mean? And if you have too much on your plate, then you have to remember to organize your time accordingly. Okay, whether that's delegating tasks to someone else, you know, or just figuring out who in your tribe and your family can handle whatever needs to get handled that you don't have time for, right? Like what's healthy enough for you, because that's really important for you to know, because you have to take care of your body, right? You have to take care of your soul. You have to sleep well, you know, that helps. that'll help a lot in where it is that you're going. Okay. I also see for all of you, I mean, keep a dream journal. It's pretty awesome. It's helpful because I guess I need to share this like as a last note, but you know, I've had dreams before where they seem so literal. And actually when I was young, they used to be literal and it was exactly that and they would come true and whatever, but they changed ever since this one particular time. But anyway, I've had dreams that were like really scary. I actually had nightmares, all through childhood, like from when I was a kid, like since I started dreaming until I was about 30 something, I had nightmares pretty much every night. And, but the thing is not until about halfway through that journey, I started to realize like what the dreams were saying. Right. And being able to look at them in a different kind of analytical way. But literally writing them down is very interesting also because sometimes you think, like I'll grab my pen and paper and just start writing down if I happen to wake up or whatever I happen to remember. I won't even open my eyes. I'll just try to, you know, you practice your penmanship that way. But the point is sometimes what you end up writing down is not what you remembered in your brain. Because what you're switching from is like, you're switching from like that, I think they call it beta, like where you're in between these certain brain waves. And those two worlds, the subconscious, whatever dreamland and this conscious space is different, right? That's like a mirror world in there. So again, the journal, the reason why that can be so helpful is because sometimes you just end up writing down one little sentence for this big long thing. And that little sentence is so poignant that actually that may not be the right word. I'm getting confused on that technical definition. I feel like it has a negative connotation. But the point is it's very purposeful. Okay. So just be aware of that. Maybe if you have an old dream journal, look back at it. Right. And remember also, interesting, that when dreams come to you and there are people in those dreams, sometimes our conscious brain will just put a person's face on something so that we can understand it. It all depends, but you got to think about that too, right? Okay, that's the end of the story. I love you so much. Any of you who are still here, happy February. I'll see you when I see ya. Peace.